Okay, try number, I don't know, 100. I don't know, not really. But I have been trying on these velvet tamarinds. This one's like guineense. And this one is the indum. I'm probably not pronouncing these right. But anyway, these right here were the ones I got from Fruit. And they're the ones endemic to West Africa. Right below the desert line into the tropical region. And I'm having a really hard time getting them to form seedlings. So I have this one, and this is the one that's doing really well. The only one so far. You see here, I've got some seeds. This is one of my seeds. It's been soaked for 12 hours. It's the top, I did scrape it so that the water can get in and soak it for 12 hours. You don't want to soak it too much or too little. This one has started, look. Okay, so the trick is they've got to have enough moisture to open, because if it's too dry, they dry out and start to die. Also, if it's too moist, though, they're really, really, really susceptible to all types of funguses and mold. But they also really need moisture in the air. So here this is, moisture capped. I did a really nice cocoa bark and perlite mixture in here, soaking in some water so it stays moist. This is a mixture that I use with my aloecias, my aloecias. I have a hard time figuring out how to pronounce these words because I've never actually heard them pronounced. I just read it. So anyways, that's what I'm doing here. This one over here is similar. I have some seeds in there, if you can see the little seeds. And then I'm also trying to germinate some over here, and this has water on the bottom here, and then this has cinnamon and perlite. They do seem to open really well in this extra humidity, but then they almost immediately start getting a fungus, so they need to be moved out. And so I'm trying to move them, seeing if this won't work. If you come over here, this is where the other ones I had been starting them. And I mean, it is really just back and forth, back and forth. When I uncovered them, see that one right there, he started drying out. And it was raining outside, so I left it off thinking, oh, it'll be fine. Well, I woke up this morning and he was just pitiful. So I covered him back for the day. And as you see, he's actually not, you can see the little green in the middle. He's actually coming back out. He's actually looks better than this morning. They all do, so I'm going to cover them back up. This one's actually come out really good today. But the thing is if I don't come over here and like open these, like really 3 or 4 times a day to get that extra air, they'll start getting a fungus and then they'll look horrible, just like if they were too dry. Watering this is also very tricky. It can still be moist and they'll start to act wilty, but it can also be too wet and they'll act wilty. So they are really, really finicky about the exact condition. I think this heating mat, they like this hotter temperature. I think they're going to end up liking this more moist but arid, airy soil. They like humidity, but I really think they'd like wind movement. So the next step, if I can't get this to do right, I'm going to get a little fan, and I'm going to set up one of these in a little fan zone, because where they're native to, there's lots of winds, and it stays pretty windy there all the time. So it's wet, hot, and windy. So we're going to try and duplicate those. Also, it is November here, which is the end of their rainy season. So it would, and it's like 90s to 100s. So we're going to try and duplicate these and see if we can't get a few more seeds to germinate. Follow along.